Ecclesiastes 6:2-3. There is a man to whom God has given riches, wealth, and honor, so that he lacks nothing for his soul. Of all he desires, yet God does not give him power to eat of them, but a stranger eats of it. This is vanity, and is an evil disease. If a man beget 100 children, and live a multitude of years, so that the days of his years are many, and his soul is not filled with good things, and also that have no burial, I say that an untimely birth is better than he. There's many things we can find in this life, and many things we strive for, but without the Lord, it's all worthless. It's all, in the end, leads us to destruction. Judges 3:20-30. Judges 3:20-30. Okay. And Ehud said, I have an errand from God to you. And he rose from his chair. And Ehud put his left hand in and took the sword from his right hip and ran into Eglon's abdomen. So he stabs him. This errand from God. So he feels God has led him to do this, which he has. Eglon is a foreign king, and so who wasn't, so seeing how he's foreign, he wasn't following God, so he kind of, so here it is, in the first part of this, Eglon had control, so it's Israel gaining back control because of the king's death. And it went to the hilt and all, and the fat closed over the blade, because he had not drawn the sword out of the abdomen. So it closes up over it, because he leaves it. It's kind of his body's trying to react and heal itself to what he does, so it closes around it. And it's to prevent death sooner. It's a natural reaction, and help if he had proper medical attention. It's possible to survive stab wounds because the body does that. If it didn't, it would be impossible unless you got stabbed right in front of a doctor. And Ehud went out on the ledge and shut the doors of the roof chamber on him and locked them. So he locks him in. And when he had gone out, the Eglon's servants came, saw how the doors of the roof chamber were locked, and he thought he must be easing himself in the little closet. So they're like not at all concerned that Israel would actually have the boldness to do something, because Israel's rebellion against God was so strong that why would God ain't on Israel's side. They're so far gone that they did not even recognize a man of God doing God's will. They thought God was so far against them because of their sins. It's oftentimes when God is so far against people that the strongest believers stand strongest to step out in faith. Verse 25. And they waited till they felt uncomfortable, and found that he did not open the doors of the roof chamber. And they took the key and opened them, and found their sovereign down on the ground dead. So, because of their lack of concern, because of their own comfort, they just find him dead. With the medical care back then, he would have been dead anyway, probably from a stab wound, most likely. But they just, because of their own comfort, they allow him to die. They watch him. They know where he's at. But they kill him and see him die. They see him dead. In part, they were to blame because their responsibility was to keep that from happening. But because of their own ways, they kind of allow it to happen. Ehud made his escape while they were delaying, and had passed the carved stones, and got safe from Sarah. So this is kind of part of God's plan, like giving them extra comfort, so his judge can escape. So God uses the way they are to make his way possible. So we see them overdoing things, but we also see him using that for his purpose, because his judge can escape. And when he got there, he blew the ram horn in the high land of Ephraim. This oftentimes symbolizes war. And the sons of Israel came down from the highland with him, he at their head. And he said to them, "Come down after me, because the Lord has given you enemies, the Moabites, into your hands." And they came down after him, and took the lords of the Jordan against the Moabites, and did not let the man cross, and made havoc of the Moabites at that time, killing about 10,000 men, every man standing, and every man of energy. 30, not one escaped. That's verse 30. No, 30, not one escaped, and Moab was humbled. No, that's verse 30. Not one escaped, and Moab was humbled under the hands of the Lord on that day, and the country was very quiet 8 years. You know, that's the way things are. They put their trust in the Lord, and he made things right for them. You know, things weren't easy. They had to go fight. But the Lord saw them through it. And if we follow the Lord, it doesn't mean we're going to be spared to fight. It means he will see us through it. And he will.